Tonight on TV2 News, a teen was arrested for stealing a car following a chase down East Main Street. Details on how law enforcement caught the suspect on campus.
February is Black History Month, and the Kent Student Center has found a creative way to honor the community.
Your Valentine's Day might be more expensive this year as that box of chocolates is raising its price right before the big day. Why cocoa is skyrocketing.
Super Bowl Sunday is come and gone. Stick around to see the big game highlights in the newest sports dynasty.
This is TV2 News.
Good Monday evening, Portage County, and thank you so much for starting off your week with us. I'm Alexandria Manthey.
And I'm Skylar Eddington. February marks Black History Month, and students on campus are honoring the Black community with a mural in the Student Center.
That's right, and our reporter Elaina Matricardi has more on that. Hi, Elaina.
Hi. Black United Students hosted an event to help students define what Black means to them. Here's what they did.
My definition of Black is beautiful and educated.
Halfway through Black History Month, Black United Students hosted Black Is in hopes to help students define what being Black means to them through a visual display.
It is called Black Is, so what you're supposed to do is basically take your hand, make a handprint to mark your print of yourself in Kent State campus, and then you write your name on it and you describe what Black is to you.
Black can be defined in multiple ways.
So what Black means to me, I think Black is beautiful. It means everything to me. You were talking to the first Black woman to be the Dean of Students here at Kent State University.
Black to me is versatility, creativity. A lot of Black people set the foundation for a lot of different things in our culture and just in history in general, and so I think that that's very important to note.
The goal for this banner is to bring more light to Black experiences on campus.
The reason why we came up with this event was just to get the community to come out and just express how they feel about being Black on the campus. It's not something too educational. It's just a fun little crafty event for you to just get out that you can stop by in between classes and everything.
BUS is calling for students to positively build on Kent State's Black History Month celebrations.
My biggest thing about Black History Month this year, and I keep telling everybody, is optimism. Be optimistic and keep pushing because the fight is not over.
Black History Month at Kent State will continue to be celebrated with a full list of events on kentwire.com. But you can check out the complete Black Is banner in the Student Center. For TV2 News, I'm Elaina Matricardi.
Thanks, Elaina. A teen is behind bars tonight after leading police on a car chase that ended on Kent State's campus. Police say they chased the 17-year-old driver along East Main Street around 3 p.m. yesterday before it ended in a multi-car crash near Luther Avenue. The driver and two others in the car took off running. The sheriff's deputies caught the teen near Whitehall, and the other male passenger was a 18-year-old from Twinsburg, and he was caught on Main Street. Police didn't catch the female passenger, and they are still working to identify her. The 17-year-old was taken to the hospital with minor injuries before being booked at the Portage County Juvenile Detention Center. The other male passenger was booked in the Portage County Jail. And the LGBTQ Plus Center is launching a new program called Quests. This is a mentor-mentee program that allows mentors to teach their mentees about career guidance and just some general guidance on being an LGBTQ Plus student on campus. And the full list of requirements and qualifications are on that center's website.
Hi guys, welcome to your weather forecast. I am Skylar, keeping up with the sky. Today we have 47 degrees, little chilly, but still nice because the sun was out. Dew point is 26, the wind is southwest, and it's only at 4 miles per hour, so you won't feel too much of a breeze outside today. 43% humidity, and the visibility is about 10 miles. All right, and then our weather throughout the state, we have 42 up north in Lima, about 49 in Dayton, a little warmer in Cincinnati at 50 degrees, Columbus 49, Athens 50, Steubenville 44, and our neighbors in Akron are at 42 degrees. Be sure to come back for your 7-day forecast. Over to Alex.
Thanks, Skylar. An Ohio bill is adding capitalism to a high school education, and that is one step closer to becoming law. The Ohio House passed Senate Bill 17 Wednesday. The bill would introduce topics like wages, raw materials, labor, and free markets. It would be up to the teacher, though, as far as how long each of these topics are discussed. It's all part of an initiative to prepare students for after graduation with more up-to-date material. The Ohio Senate will vote before it heads to Governor Mike DeWine's desk for his signature.
Paid leave continues to be a problem for Americans, leaving the majority of workers without it. The National Partnership for Women and Families says that 73% of workers in the U.S. don't have paid leave through their employers, and federal unpaid leave is just as inaccessible. The study shares that the lack of paid leave impacts families tremendously by causing parents to leave the workforce to stay with children at home. This then often leads to financial hardships.
Ohio lawmakers want new policies when it comes to your text messages. Hurrah's John Berry from Perrysburg introduced his Safe and Reliable Texting Act in last week's committee hearing. This would require messages to be encrypted and photos and videos to maintain their original quality. It also allows users to get real-time notifications that a recipient has read a message or is typing their reply. This aims to keep users protected and their messages private.
An immediate release has been revealed that the former PUCO chairman and 2 former First Energy executives have been indicted on public corruption charges. Samuel Randazzo, Charles Jones, and Michael Dowling were all indicted by the Summit County Grand Jury for being allegedly involved in the House Bill 6 scandal. The group faces up to 27 felony charges involving money laundering, bribery, grand theft, and tampering with records.
2 people are injured after a shooting at a church in Houston. How 2 off-duty officers gain control of the situation.
Tensions are increasing between Biden and Israel. More after the break.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back. 2 people were injured in a shooting at Joel Osteen's church in Houston.
Police say a woman walked into the building with her 7-year-old son and a rifle. CNN's Ed Lavendera has the latest.
A terrifying scene at one of America's biggest churches.
I started screaming, "There's a shooter, there's a shooter, there's a shooter."
We hid about 10 of us, 10 adults in a closet. And there was 1 child in there, and no vent, but we were all praying.
An armed woman entered Pastor Joel Osteen's megachurch in Houston on Sunday afternoon and opened fire.
She was armed with a long rifle and a trench coat with a backpack, accompanied by a small child, approximately 4 to 5 years old.
Houston's police chief Troy Finner says 2 off-duty law enforcement agents working security at the church confronted the woman, getting the situation under control.
She's deceased here on the scene. I want to commend those officers. She had a long gun, and it could have been a lot worse. But they stepped up and they did their job, and I want to thank them for that.
However, the child who came to the church with the woman was also shot.
Unfortunately, a 5-year-old kid was hit and is in critical condition at our local hospital.
The chief says it is unclear who fired the shot that struck the child, and the child's relationship to the suspect is still unknown, according to police. The officers involved in the shooting told investigators the woman claimed to have a bomb, but an immediate search found nothing.
We searched her vehicle, our bomb squad, and also the backpack. No explosives were found. but she was also spraying some type of substance on the ground.
Witnesses described a chaotic scene.
My mom was screaming, and then my mom said, "Come, come," and we ducked because while I called my mom, the bullets were still repetitive and they were still going, and the attacks were in the sanctuary.
One bystander was injured.
That was a 57-year-old man who didn't have anything to do with it, I don't think. Was shot in the leg. He's seeking treatment in the hospital.
Pastor Osteen says he's thankful the shooting did not happen earlier in the day.
I can only imagine if it would have happened during the 11 o'clock service. If there's anything good of it, you know what, she didn't get in there and do a whole lot worse damage.
And he's left hoping the decades-old church will continue holding services without another scare like this.
We're going to stay strong. We're going to continue to move forward. And there are forces of evil, but the forces that are for us, the forces of God, are stronger than that.
Presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. apologized to members of his family Sunday after a Super Bowl ad repurposed a campaign ad from his late uncle, President John F. Kennedy. Kennedy's cousin, Bobby Shriver, said his mother would be appalled by his deadly healthcare views. In response to the post, Kennedy Jr. apologized for any pain caused by the ad, saying it was paid for by a policy action committee and not directly by his campaign.
Biden's frustrations with his Israeli counterpart are reportedly increasing. Although Biden has not publicly shared his frustrations, people familiar with the matter claim that he's told advisors that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is constructing efforts to alleviate the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Tensions have also continued to increase as Israel has prepared for a ground incursion in Rafah, a place that thousands of Palestinians have fled to over the past year.
The Israeli military has begun speaking out, saying 2 hostages held in Gaza for the past 128 days are now free and back in Israel after a covert operation overnight. 2 men are said to be in good condition and are now in Tel Aviv medical facility. They were kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th. Israeli forces also say they conducted a series of strikes in Rafah. The Palestine Red Crescent Society says more than 100 people have been killed in those strikes.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with your 7-day forecast. Once again, we right now are showing that today we have 34 in Sandusky, 41 in Mansfield, 42 in Worcester, 42 in Canton, 43 in Youngstown, 47 in Kent, and 37 in Ashtabula. Here we are with the 7-day forecast. Today, for the rest of the day, we have 42 right now outside. No sun, not going to see a sunset tonight, a little cloudy, but that's okay. Later on tonight, about 33 degrees, so if you have any plans, you might want to bring a jacket. And then around 12 a.m., 31 degrees as well. Cloudy and a little chilly. And then for our 7-day forecast, Monday we have Monday today we have cloudy skies. Tuesday it's going to be 37 degrees, a little bit windy. Wednesday partly cloudy, 37 degrees again, gonna need a coat. Thursday we have rain and snow, so you might want to get a little bit of a shovel out, maybe a rain jacket, whatever you want to do. And then Friday it's going to be cloudy again, 35. Saturday 29, really chilly temps, definitely maybe a hat and a scarf. And Sunday 39, but mostly sunny. So you win some, you lose some. Be a little chilly, but at least you'll get to see the sun. But that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you for joining me for your 7-day weather forecast. I've been Sky, keeping up with the sky. Over to you, Alex.
Thank you, Skylar. Hundreds of migratory species are now facing extinction because of human activity. That's according to a UN agency report published Monday. Of the nearly 1,200 creatures listed, more than 1 in 5 are threatened. The biggest threats were overexploitation and loss of habitat because of human activity, such as clearing land for farming, roads, and infrastructure. Experts say reducing the threats to migratory species will require global efforts. Meta is making a change to what political content you'll see on social media. Instagram will quit recommending political content from accounts you don't follow. Friday, the popular photo and video app said this will also apply to Threads. Both apps will add a setting to let users opt into political content recommendations. Customization tools will also be rolled out on Facebook at a later date.
Speaking of ads being displayed on your social medias, I think we should take a moment to talk a little bit about yesterday's Super Bowl ads. Alex?
Thanks, Skylar. Well, a lot of us watched last night's game for the two teams facing off. Some of us had our eyes on those commercials. As one of the most watched televised of the year, advertisers take the Super Bowl as their perfect opportunity to spread awareness. And those spots come at a pretty penny. I spoke to Mike Jackson, an advertising expert here at Kent State, and he said these prices just keep rising.
This is the most ever spent. $7 million per 30 seconds on average is the most in the history of the Super Bowl, 58 years.
This cost doubles for a 1-minute ad and triples for a 90-second spot. Plus, when you add costs of production, this could be anywhere from $15 to $20 million total cost for a 1-minute hit. But on a smaller scale, Jackson said he thought Cleveland's regional ads were well done, highlighting United Airlines. The airline's commercial used a take on the old Friday Night Lights, encouraging Browns fans to book their tickets for next year's game.
What they were basically selling is the fact that there are no change fees, which have been around for like 2 or 3 years, so nothing new. But the fact that they did these separate spots in Houston and Kansas City and Cleveland was one, I just thought it was brilliant.
Last year's Super Bowl had over 115 million viewers. Jackson said based on recent trends, he expects this year's to be even higher when those are released.
And if you thought the Super Bowl ads were expensive this year, wait until you hear how expensive chocolate is. With cocoa prices surging so high, chocolate makers are struggling to even make profits. With climate issues in Africa, one of the largest cocoa providers, cocoa has become hard to grow. Cocoa prices have doubled in the past year and have surged over 40% from last year. Hershey said Thursday it would cut 5% of its workforce after the historic cocoa prices and inflation.
And Wednesday is Valentine's Day, but don't forget to celebrate with your girls on Tuesday. More coming up.
The Chiefs took on the 49ers in Super Bowl 58 last night. After the break, we'll recap all the thrilling action from Sin City.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Noah Keeney, and it is time to jump into the sports world. The Kent State track and field teams competed at the Tyson Invitational Inspire Indoor Games this past weekend. The Kent State women's 4x400 relay team clocked the 3rd fastest time in program history. It was also the fastest time in the MAC this year. Lane Studer set a new personal best in the men's pole vault. Grace Luther remains unbeaten against collegiate competitors this season. And Aiden Bath rounded out event winners with a time of 8.1 seconds in the men's 60-meter hurdles. Kent State softball had their 3rd straight win with a walk-off single against Evansville on Saturday. The Golden Flashes, now 3-2 after starting 0-2, recorded 10 hits to give them double-digit base knocks in each contest during the opening weekend. Kent State at one point trailed Evansville 3-0, but with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, KC was able to get back-to-back singles to get the winning run in scoring position. Fotcher fell behind 0-2 before working a full count and then recorded the game-winning hit. Now to the game that everybody was watching, the Super Bowl 58 between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers. First play of the second quarter here, Brock Purdy is going to feel a little pressure, forcing him to step up and throw a deep ball, and it looks like Deebo Samuel has a step, but Trent McDuffie, the all-pro corner, makes a beautiful play. Now for the Super Bowl record, 55-yard field, it is good without a doubt. However, this record would be broken by Kansas City later in the game. Now in the second, Pacheco, he's running left, looks like he has a hole, and he's a strong runner, but not strong enough. That ball is stripped and on the ground in Kansas City. The 49ers will take over. Now a little trickery. Juwan Jennings looking deep, but he's going to throw back to CMC, and who else would score the first touchdown of the Super Bowl but the Offensive Player of the Year? Christian McCaffrey making a stand. 10-6, the turning point in the game here. It is fumbled by the 49ers special teams and recovered by Kansas City. And with the first play returning, a dot by Mahomes. Touchdown, putting the Chiefs up 13-6. Later in the game, 13-10, Kansas City. Purdy with a strike. Juwan Jennings again, his second touchdown of the day to give the Chiefs, the 49ers, a lead. Now, Harrison Butker, he nails it to send it to overtime. The 49ers would drive down the field and take ball first, and they would take the lead, but that would just be too much for Mahomes. He would drive down the field, and first play, he doesn't do field goals, he does Super Bowls. Touchdown, Kansas City, and that would be all she wrote. The Chiefs, 2 in a row. That's all I have sports for you today. Thanks for tuning in. I've been Noah Keeney. Have a great rest of your night.
Animal lovers, get ready. We have all the stats on this year's Puppy Bowl.
Welcome back. Grab your girls and head out on the town tomorrow for Galentine's Day. While Wednesday marks Valentine's Day, tomorrow is an opportunity for women across the globe to celebrate with their closest friends. It's widely known as a way for women to uplift other women on this Cupid's Day.
For those who are not big fans of traditional football but are big fans of puppies, you're in for a treat because yesterday was the annual Puppy Bowl. This year's contest marked the 20th anniversary of the show with the defending champs Team Fluff taking on Team Rough. While Team Fluff took an early 2-touchdown lead, Team Rough recovered in the fourth quarter to upset Team Fluff 72-69. The voted MVP of the game was Moosh, an Australian Shepherd who forced a key takeover.
Absolutely adorable, but this is all we have for tonight, and it wraps up our Monday Night Newscast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Alexandria Manthey.
And I'm Skylar Eddington. Have a great night, Portage County.